I can tell you with confidence that once someone appears in the Star Wars universe, they will be around forever. The fandom never forgets, and you're doing it with one of the most iconic villains in cinema. What was the first phone call like when you found out you'd be wearing the Vader suit again? How long were you waiting for it?
Well, when I first got that phone call, that I was going to get the opportunity to come back, it was a very exciting moment for me. You know, this is a character that means a great deal to me, and has come to sort of define my life in so many ways. So getting to come back and do more with it was just huge. And just to get to come back to the Star Wars universe again, it's a fun world to play in.
The key to hunting Jedi.
The Star Wars films and series have focused on exploring the lives of multiple Jedi, but Darth Vader remains one of the perhaps least understood characters. There's still so much to explore about what goes on inside his mind. And it's true that in the comics these paths have been explored. So I want to ask you, what version of Darth Vader will be made in this series?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, we're all very careful to respect this character and sort of the canon, of course, and you know, we're exploring new territory, and that's sort of what's exciting about this show. But we want to do so in a way that is consistent with what we know already, and we want to honor that. But yeah, this is a time in his life that hasn't been explored yet, and there's a lot there to sort of unpack.
Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail.
How much has the way of doing a Star Wars story changed? It used to be green screens and practical effects. Now technology has changed the complete game, especially with the use of stagecraft. We already saw that in can do series like The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett. So Hayden, how did you feel the first time you walked into the set and stood in front of this huge screen with crazy definition?
Yeah, well, the technology has obviously come a long way. When we were doing the prequels, it was a lot of blue screen and green screen, like you said. And at the time, that was the cutting edge technology. But it was you know, it was different in that it demanded a lot of your imagination. Getting to work on, you know, in the stagecraft technology now, where all of the environments are displayed for you in real time. It's an incredible experience. You know, I remember my first time stepping into the volume. I was just blown away. You know, you're immediately sort of transported into the world of Star Wars. And as a fan, it was thrilling, and as an actor, very helpful.
The Jedi Code is like an itch. He cannot help it. Where is he?
You already told me about the special effects, but if there is something that defines Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker is their skill with the lightsaber. Your duel scenes with Ewan are still a reference for the fans, but to achieve this requires more than CGI, you know. How did you prepare yourself physically to come back as Vader? I imagine it was quite a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, the preparation on this was extensive. One, just the physical prep of you know, trying to put on, you know, some size and you know, the training that was required, and then of course just sort of getting back into the mindset of the character. But, you know, the lightsaber training has always been sort of one of my favorite aspects of getting to work on a Star Wars project. It's really just like the most fun you can imagine, going to work and going to, you know, lightsaber training camp. It's good fun.
Ewan is known for making noises with his mouth every time he has a lightsaber in his hands. Is this contagious? Hayden, at some point, did you realize that you were also doing the same thing alongside him in this series?
Yeah, you know, I think it just comes from being a kid and you know, having sort of, you know, imaginary lightsaber battles with your friends. I remember when we were doing the prequels, you know, I was doing a lightsaber fight, you know, early on, and George Lucas came up to me and he said, "Hayden, you know, it looks great, but I can see your mouth moving, and I, you know, you don't need to make the sound effects. We'll do that afterwards." But you can't help it. It's sort of muscle memory. So it requires almost a concerted effort not to do it, you know?
And finally, Hayden, how much of a fan are you of collecting Star Wars memorabilia? Were there any items, any props that you preserve from the filming of this series? It's not every day you get back to the set with Ewan.
Yeah, I have a nice collection of Star Wars memorabilia. When we were doing the prequels, you know, they used to send me sort of, you know, one of whatever new toy was coming out at the time, and so I have a nice collection of that stuff. On this one, I got to keep a few items that were very special to me, and I got my Darth Vader lightsaber, and that's one of my prized possessions. Absolutely.